And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Terra Invicta in our Humanity First Let's Play. This is the second part, where you're going to continue to try to do sort of EU minor nations first attempt. The goal, of course, then means we need to get enough control in France that we can eject the servants from France. So that's going to be the hard thing coming up here. So there's an argument to start public campaigning. We do get a bonus from control points in neighbors, so we should continue expanding our control points in the neighbors in the meantime as well.
Ready to go.
30, 46. We don't control any of the lesser points, so we can't go for the executive. Oh, we do have 85 for going to the UK. Let's go into the UK, because we have such baseline public support there. So I don't have to spend influence on getting that. And then we can save up something like JPL, so the Jet Propulsion Lab. I happen to have been unintentionally blessed with lots of United States counselors in this run, after I attempted not to get them. So we've got United States counselors, and apparently have a British one as well. Oh no, I don't have a British one. I have, I'm probably going to end up at a point in Britain pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll probably try to pick up some of these with the influence. So we'll try to save the influence that we're collecting right now to pick up orgs.
At your service.
In the meantime, 69% are in public campaign in France, 75%.
We'll make our
We're going to have to public campaign in France quite a bit.
Where to? Standing by for orders.
Oh, and we are going to want to finish taking over Switzerland, so let's try to finish taking over
This nation
Switzerland.
to our side.
Every circumstance is an opportunity. Our test is to recognize and seize it.
So at this point, we've detected initiative, resistance, academy, and I think the servants?
Our only hope is to understand what the aliens want with us and determine how to satisfy them without losing our independence.
Okay, so at this point, I think we've met the other counselors, other factions. Oh no, I haven't met Exodus, and apparently haven't met servants. So we've seen 4 of the 6 other non-alien factions.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Our cause is unjustified to them.
Not succeed on the France roll. We could be throwing money at the France
Our
rolls
supporters
if we were
are in
necessary
place.
for it. I don't feel that's necessary yet. We can mission control and boost in the UK. I don't think it's a good place for boost. It is going to be a decent place for mission control at the moment. So we'll run a mission control, a little bit of funding in UK.
We're taking over.
We got our second point in Switzerland. We're going to just run funding for the moment. We're probably going to abandon Switzerland at some point, as it doesn't start in the EU's initial EU. And can't casually be added to it.
Acknowledged. Establishing our presence.
Ready to go. Putting our people in place.
We're trying to work as fast as we can, like less in cells for our 5th counselor while doing advanced electromagnetics. I would like to... Interesting that changes who's doing that. Yeah. Don't worry, we're getting... I'm tempted in doing some investment in advanced chemical to get a higher probability of high thrust. I think that's not in the cards right now. We want to save up. Okay, JPL has dropped off on the reroll. It went away. Reddington's not too bad. Sabotage. Okay, I may want to pick some of these up. So you're my commander. We probably would willingly take the command one on you. Your investigator. We don't really have an investigator. Well, Suppose you're the investigator right now. Although you don't have the admin to pick the investigate up. Well, pick the really good one up. If we go to org management, we can now just buy to the unassigned pool. So if I'm like, I really want that, I can just take it into the unassigned. So for example, let's say we want MF5. We don't have the influence for it, so we can't pick it up, but we could technically just dump that into our reserve. There's an argument to do that Reddington. Although the main reason to pick Reddington up is actually for, well, right now would be for the influence ops. Which obviously doesn't apply if we don't assign it to a counselor. So we're thinking you for command. No, that was the wrong one. That command. You for command. On our officer. And then you have more command, or more admin, you have more admin. So if I want things right now, it looks like it's probably going to Tech Mogul. So let's say we take Reddington, put it on the Tech Mogul. We don't want to keep it there, but we can put it there. I think Pengelly was the other money one. Put you on the person who could do decent investigate. Put it on the spy. And we could afford that. That would be affordable. Oh, how much is Tyros? Tyros is 2.2. When's the next org shakeup? Let's look at the calendar. We're on the 15th of April. I think it just happened. So that means we can procrastinate a little bit. The next org refresh is the 15th of May. Yeah, so I can wait on these councils if I'm trying to take up Tyros. Okay, let's do that. Let's wait and try to pick up Tyros. And that way we've got more time for the spoils in the Middle East to provide us our
People
money.
will come to our side.
We've moved the needle.
Most notably, that is moving people away from the servants.
We've got our people in place.
Not necessarily moving people towards us, as was indicated on that thing, but mostly away from the rivals. Successfully controlled nation in the United Kingdom.
Our
Repeat
supporters are in place.
There's our last point in Switzerland. It's mostly just going to be assigned to funding. I could spoil Switzerland if we're desperate for the money right now. Yeah, let's spoil Switzerland. Second UFO crash on Earth in Russia. Remember which region that is. That's out here? Oh, no, guessed wrong. I knew it was the Far East. Went too far east. Tusk is here. Oh, I see. I think Utusk might be what it's... Oh, that might be Risk. Anyway, there's a... I know there's a province out there named Utusk in other games as well. Okay, so you need a new assignment. Because we don't want to take a control point in Switzerland anymore. I'll see you in the United Kingdom, sure.
Taking control. I'm here.
53%. We'll roll a 50%.
I will try to sway the public.
The public campaign. Oh, and we're at our control cap. That came out quickly. How much is the UK worth? 32. Okay, so we're probably just going to leave Switzerland. We're probably just going to bop out of Switzerland. carry the UK. I'd rather have the UK over Switzerland. And you can be augmented. We're going to augment you with more admin right now. That would actually allow you to pick up the Reddington agency directly. It'll also put us back under the cap, so that's good for the short term. Yeah, I think we're going to take the UK over, then we'll be public campaigning in France, and then we'll be slowly probably abandoning places like Switzerland and Spain. I'm going to try to hold on to Singapore. Singapore would be ideal to hold on to. It might be worth abandoning. So it's 12 for Kuwait and 24-25 for EUA. That's one thing clandestine cells will help with, is it's recruit another counselor. A counselor will help that problem.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Our cause is unjustified to them.
Some progress in France.
We've gained significant support.
Okay, so there's the first point. We are going to go to Switzerland. I'm going to drop the spoils, and we're going to go back to just funding in Switzerland. And then we're going to auto-renew and abandon it. Gives us the space. If we succeed on the other roll, and we promptly succeed on the other roll, we'll have to abandon another location as well. I think the place we're going to go is Kuwait. And I think we'll do, like, max welfare while we're out of it, with one step in unity. That puts us back in the green again. Oh, I've been forgetting to update you. Focus on mission control in the United Kingdom for the moment. Okay, I'm gonna have to go. Surprised they did a purge straight into the point, but they did. I'm gonna want my Singapore point back.
Where to?
Ready.
At your service.
15%. If I want to throw influence at it, and I kind of do, we can throw it all the way up to 75%, or 73% on one blow. We will do that.
We're taking power.
Your orders? We must persuade the people.
Where do you need me? We must persuade the people.
You actually have decent admin, although... No, I'm gonna grab more admin on you. Debating whether or not to do admin or persuasion. I think you're the only one I'm gonna prioritize persuasion on over admin. For controlling nations, they're about the same in control points, but obviously one's better for getting in, one's better for controlling more orgs. It's not this one, but it's the next counselor cycle. Go look at the calendar when the things reset. Right, so we're on the first. Mission assignment phase, that's the mission one. That's the org marketplace update. So next cycle, we need to make a decision whether or not we're going to pick those orgs up or not. Looks like we're not making enough money.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
To hit our target.
Public
before
opinion
picking
is
up the
moving in our
admin one.
direction.
The people will come to our side.
Lost the point in Switzerland. That's more acceptable.
We've removed
We got our
some
point back
threats.
in Singapore. Yeah, we're in a little bit of an awkward spot. As much as we prefer resistance over, like the servants and stuff like that. In the process of trying to build a support up for ourselves, we're effectively building up support for the resistance. Which is one of the reasons they're able to so easily take things from us. this is the action where we're going to decide whether we pick these 3 up. And yeah, we're not going to be able to afford you. We're going to get the reroll, so you might not be here anymore. That is fine. You're probably our investigator, at least for the short run. So we'll go ahead and stick Reddington on you. Pengali is also pretty good, as it's a 1-star that provides 1 investigate, although I can't put him on the sort of self-anointed investigator here for the moment. It's you, and I suppose I can put you on anyone that has these inanimate, so we'll put you on you for the moment. Yeah, those are the only 3 we can pick up. We can pick all 3 of them up. But those are the only 3 we can pick up. So that's going to be, I think, the arrangement. And we're going to go with confirm. Yeah, can't pick anything. What's up? Next cycle, I think we'll have the reroll. So we'll cycle.
Where do you need me?
Ready to go.
Suppose let's oh no, you don't have defend interests.
Your
You
orders?
don't have defend interests? You have defend interests. I don't want to lose Singapore. Go defend interests in
Securing our
Singapore.
control.
Let's not
Ready
have
for
that
my
happen again.
mission.
56% public campaign in France. Yeah, let's invest a little bit of money into France
We'll
to
make
help campaign
our-
harder there. That's what we'll run for the moment. Singapore, at some point, we're going to want to stop doing Unity because it's lowering its democracy. But I want to get the public opinion up there sooner.
They are here to cleanse our sick world. The aliens are our saviors, and all who oppose them are enemies of the future.
So, there goes Judith telling us that we're their enemy.
Securing our interests.
The people will come to our side.
We hold no sway in their
Ooh,
minds.
and that was the one we paid money for, too.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
In each of us, embers glow. Through meditation, prayer, and togetherness, these dim sparks will blossom into the roaring flames they were meant to be.
Okay, so Judith Howe, quote from her. That was Academy replacing advanced chemical rocketry with deep space propulsion concepts. In particular, this is required for mission to the asteroids, nuclear fission in space. We're probably not worried that that's happening. I don't think there's any text directly derived from that we need investment into. It's a bit of a shame that advanced chemical rocketry got finished so early. We may not have a high probability of hitting high thrust probes as a side effect. We do need this for nuclear fission in space, which we want for solid core fission. So we're not worried that they picked that. That's actually fine for us. We're not gonna rush to try to control that or get points in that though. Again, we want control of advanced electromagnetism slot. We'd like to get clandestine cells done sooner rather than later. And mission control does have value early on, even before you get into space. It does provide, the excess provides, I believe, money and mission control, or money and science. So we're getting... Oh, it doesn't provide very much science, though. Monthly, it's providing 0.075 from 3. Yeah, it provides like 0.3 a year. Science, and I think it provides a little bit of money as well. Yeah, it provides a little bit of money as well. Because presumably you're selling it if you're not using it. Well, I can pay some ops to get a little bit more research. Let's
We'll see what we
do
can
that.
find.
Or a little bit more xenology research speed. Do that.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
There's clandestine cells. I think we're going to go back to what we were doing before, which is research lab. No, we'll do talent development, because the +2 command per counselor, well, 5 counselors will be effectively +10 across the entire council, which is actually +10 control points. I'm not a rush to get that done, though. We'd like to have control of magnetism. Yeah, we're not too worried about that being done. There we go. A little bit more efficient use of our
Here's what we found.
research points. Oh wait, we had you researching the alien. We'll do a surveil 1. Take a surveil location, see if we can
On
see the aliens do
Overwatch.
anything. I suspect the answer will be no.
Initiating recon.
We've detected what appears to be alien microbes and plants. Okay, so I have... This will be in preparation for a research project to better understand the phenomena. Yeah, okay. Alien Flora Project. Counselors and armies do bonus damage for Xenoflora. Okay. Want that at some point. Not rushing for that, I think.
We've moved the needle.
Campaign objectives. We haven't seen any abductions yet. Haven't done any stuff. Okay. %11 bonus in Singapore.
Our
Let's see.
case remains unheard.
Oof. Push negative in France. Critical failure.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Put it back to 20%. Basically undid our failure. The new normal. Initial global upheaval in response to the alien arrival has calmed somewhat, with various political and economic interests recognizing that whatever the aliens are doing, the end of the world is not immediately upon us. With the sense of urgency fading, and the entrenched power structures are resorting to their authority, and humans are spending more time worrying about each other than about the aliens. In short, our moment to strike quickly is passing. Our councils report that their missions are taking longer to plan and conduct, as they must navigate the old protocols for travel, security, and international contact. We can still move forward, and some of our missions will have greater impact as we spend more time on them, but everything will take longer to accomplish now. So instead of it being a council action every week, it's a council action every other week. Oh, and this is the new set post reroll. Energy Independence Initiative. Not bad for a 2-star. Just money, not worth the slots. Might pick you up. Maybe, say, pick you up and drop you. Would be more slot efficient. Wouldn't also necessarily need you to drop anyone right away. Yeah. So we're going to pick you up. And I'm going to augment your admin. And I think we could take you back to public campaigning. Yeah, we're going to continue public campaigning
Work
in
in the
France.
public.
We're going to try to get our side the most dominant in France so that we can successfully crack down, purge out the servants if we can. In the meantime, we're basically at control point camp, so there's not much we can really profitably take in the world. Oh, and we can grab, let's look at our 5th counselor options. We're really looking, because we've got, you'd be decent science if I needed a science for advising later on. Your persuasion, your either investigate espionage, your command. So I'm looking either for an espionage or an investigator. Ideally. Inspector, presumably would do a decent investigator. Detain, investigate, crackdown. Would be a double up on both crackdown and detain. You're aware. National hero, so you'd have slightly lower security, although extra persuasion in Pakistan. So that's unlikely to come into play. Oh, Striver's nice. So Striver for an investigator wouldn't be too bad. Provide another stabilized nation. Unless I'm going to be advising permanently, this is not going to work. So no scientists there. So you're an option. Politician, but not the right missions. By obtain counselor, although the rest of the missions are fine. Government checklist. Although checklist is pretty disappointing these days. Partially because it's it's oppression, which is not usually what we want to do. You want to get the stable point stable. Government survivor, famous, inscrutable. Has detained counselor, which is something we're a little bit threadbare on, although it's missing crackdown. Also, to be fair, really, this isn't officers. This is a commander. A bunch of command stuff. We've already got a commander. Judge, not really what we're looking for. Although decent investigate could work as a investigate. Quick learner. Although the main thing selling it as the quick learner, which is already being sold sort of to us by the Striver. Striver does investigate better, or does that better. Shady corrupt criminal, so we wanted a criminal. This is the way to go. Kingpin for Boston. Evangelist. Unifier for stabilize. This would be another persuasion counselor. We don't really need another persuasion counselor right now. If I knew that we had good layout, we can take a quick glance at the counselor right now. If we knew we had criminal orgs coming up, we definitely want the criminal. We've got a government. Got 2 governments, actually. The person who's not a government here could go criminal. You can do neither. Okay. So you're going to be neither government nor criminal. So yeah, if I'm desperate, we got a person on the team who can already go criminal if we're looking for criminal orgs. So I think we will go for the inspector with Striver here. Again, to get another one to detain counselor, crack down, decent starting investigate, decent admin, so it's actually going to give 8 more control points between the persuasion and the admin. Oh, command. So it's actually even better than that. Because I'm forgetting the command, so it's actually 12 more points. So really good combo. Now, of course, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with you right now. Short run, I don't need to have you toggle to auto renew. So as soon as that runs out in 18 days, we'll actually take Kuwait back, probably put it back on spoils for money.
Ready for orders.
And because we have Striver at 16 a point, I think I will start stacking Investigate on you. In fact, I may want to do some org management to pull the Investigate onto you. Yeah, let's do that. Pull the Investigate onto you. so you can be really good at crackdown when the time comes. Because we're gonna have a very hard opening crackdown in France. And we're still early enough in the game where we probably want to crack down Purge in that order. So you're up to 11. Investigate. We're looking at a base of 1, could crank it up to 4. So yeah, not there yet on crackdowns in that country, particularly 59% crackdown in Switzerland. So yeah. Could just have you... In fact, this is what we will do. Let's surveil France.
Initiating recon.
Might try to track down one of the servant counselors. Assuming they're still hanging around France.
Overwatch. Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
The people will come to our side.
Okay, we can always put them back in, so we're not too worried about them leaving
With
the
each
Federation.
passing day, humanity shatters the boundaries of the possible. It is our certain destiny to move mountains at the touch of a button. We need only the will to do so. And your generous investment, of course.
And your
Chair
generous
Soren
investment,
van
of
Beek,
course.
Opening remarks during Western Armory's annual earnings
Okay,
call.
so we control Humanity First, or as Humanity First, control Advanced Electronics here, so we get to make the next choice. We're wanting to do mass drivers so that we can be ready for space mining and refining as soon as possible. Yeah, because we want space mining and refining before the moon, hopefully. With mass drivers done, if anyone starts outpost tabs, what we can do then is the next time we have control and outpost tabs is done, we can do space mining and refining. Right, so even if we don't control outpost tabs and someone decides we're going to the moon or we're going to Mars, in theory it's about the same cost for us to do space mining and refining after outpost tabs is done. So that's the point, is we want to be ready to make that swing, and then we'll probably be looking to push to the boost techs. Although some of them have already been done. Advanced chemical rocketry is one of them. Although we didn't invest very heavily in it, so we're going to struggle maybe with a little bit of boost from that. We may do rival markets, or rival economics for markets and bootstrap space flight. Although if we're going to the EU is already basically bootstrapped, right? So Singapore is the one that would benefit the most from the bootstrap, and we're brute forcing it already. There's reusable rockets. We will want that. So we've just had the refresh on the orgs. Let's take a look at the orgs. Lawrence Livermore. 3-star. It's a lot of science, was really nice early on. Although its influence cost, we don't get a lot of influence. Because we just picked up a new counselor. Boost and mission control. We would like to pick you up. Air Force Laboratory is also tempting. But yeah, you're probably the one we're going to want to pick up. It's a 2-star. And it can basically go in anyone that's got 2 open slots. So let's just... Yeah, I think you're a decent target for this right now. So we go ahead and grab you. This is going to provide us 2 monthly boost until we get rid of it. So it is now 90% of our boost. Orgs. That's how we get boost before we have boost. I think the rest of our boost might be coming from... I think the rest is coming from France. The 1 point in France. Which is why we need the rest of the points in France, or we need to get Singapore going. Sure, we'll
Eyes
have
on
investigate the
target.
other factions.
It has always been true that we must leave the cradle if our species is to survive. If these aliens are indeed hostile, the time to go is now.
So that's Project Exodus, deciding they want to leave. That's the last of the factions for us to meet, so we've now effectively seen a counselor from every faction at least once. We haven't been trying to keep track of them, so we've lost track of most of those counselors, but we have seen a counselor. Humanity first consolidates control in Kuwait, so we're now control the executive in Kuwait. I'm surprised because we're actually not in control of the country, but that'll fix itself in
Tracking
a couple
field.
days. Nope, didn't manage to track him.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
And we're trying to get Singapore up to like 80% before we stop
Our
unity.
case remains unheard.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Estonia left the EU. That's fine. We can put them back in if we're interested in that. So I don't know if that is Exodus being grumpy at us for being in France or them being grumpy at the servants. Either way, they're leaving. Let's go investigate that alien activity in Chad.
On the way to the target site.
Anyway, we're not going to get enough money for the admin, tempting as it is, and we're not going to have enough influence for Air Force research or Lawrence Livermore. So they will have to. We'll see if they survive the reroll. That's coming up in the next council action. So we have diminished the support of the servants a lot.
Public sentiment is
It's still a
increasingly
little
with
bit
us.
of quite a bit of work to get them
We've
over to
moved
us,
the needle.
because we just moved it to everyone in the middle
Move the needle.
instead of to us.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Recon complete.
Although again, I'm maybe not in a good point to actually control any of France. I've maybe gained enough that we can let... Yeah, I've gained enough that I can let 33 days pass in humanity in Switzerland here and get Switzerland back. Although, it's Switzerland, so we're not too worried about Switzerland. We'd happily give that up for another point in France. Our crackdown in France starts at 4 and we get up to 27. So we're going the right direction. Now let's actually go say hello to the
Reaching
resistance.
out. We'll open a channel.
We wish that you would see your extremism harms the very people we're trying to protect.
That's what they think. It has some merit. We'd have to spend some resources to get them around to our point of view. We picked you up, so in theory I don't need this admin org, or this engineering org. So we could trade the engineering org away from the Non-Aggression Pact. I don't think there's anything else I could get in exchange. Yeah, no. I will do this. This is reasonably cheap, unless I can get away with like a small amount of money. They do 100. 100 they do. Okay, we'll go for 100. It's a non-aggression pact, so this will mean that me and the Resistance, well, specifically keep the Resistance from bugging us. This will sort of push them towards fighting the other 6 factions and away from us, which is what we want this early on. For 100 buckaroonies, I am on board
We
with that.
laud the Romans for assimilating rather than exterminating other nations. But we should not forget that their siege weapons were terrible things to behold. History is littered with accounts of opponents simply surrendering as they watched Roman catapults approaching their walls. Colonel Hans Castillo guest lectured to officer candidates.
Yeah, the Romans had a little bit of a, in the middle of the Roman Empire period, had a tradition of being determined. Ah, yes, you have an unsurmountable mountaintop fortress, which with a tiny winding path to get up to the top of. We're just going to build a ramp. What? We're going to build a ramp. Just straight up the side of the mountain. That's what the Romans did one time. There's still signs of that ramp up to that fortress to this day. So yeah, don't assume the Romans can't get to your fortress just because you've got a massive fortress. They'll find a way. They were very determined. Okay, so I don't necessarily want to be rushing to Mars and the Moon yet. Don't want to do outpost tabs. What I want it to be is I want to be ready to do space mining and refining if this completed. In the meantime, I think we want to do some of the rival techs. Rival markets for orgs. National research oversight. Institutional outreach, that sort of stuff. I think institutional outreach also works, so let's do this one because we want the National Research Oversight for the 10% science buff. We'll see what they do in advanced carbon manipulation when that finishes. I may be tempted to try to spread the science out a little bit more. We're pretty science-rich at the moment, in comparison to where I was expecting to be.
The people will come to our side.
The people will come to our side.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Our cause is unjustified to them.
Starting to make strides in France. So it's becoming more and more likely we'll be able to purge the servants out of France. There goes Singapore, completing its space program. And in Singapore, we're up to 74%, so we'll drop the Unity, and we'll run mostly boost, but a little bit of mission control. We would like to pick up the 3 mission control from Singapore, but Singapore is going to be the home of my early boost production.
Just imagine, Ifechi, how this world would change if we could mass manufacture building materials in an instant. Homes built for mere pennies, irrigation for every village, a brighter, fairer future for all. Commissioner Kiran Banerjee, Private Correspondence.
We've completed our Information Science Lab project. I think we'll follow that up with reusable rockets. The 20% boost priority here will be quite nice. So 11% purge is up to 8%. Again, we can throw influence into the hat, and we're getting up to 47%. We need a little bit better than that. I'd like to be, especially if we're throwing that much influence in it, we'd like to be pushing like 75. Not quite there. We did get a reroll on the orgs. The big ones I'm seeing that are useful to potentially pick up would be the admin ones, because that allows us to control more stuff. And then if we had influence, and we don't, big amount of science, 35 science is pretty nice early on, although it is expensive. Oh, and if we had influence, we could pick this one up as well. 2-2, so 2 influence, 2 espionage, be pretty strong. In the meantime, let's look around for places where we got some unrest. So there is some in Spain, so we do rest reduction in Spain. Let's do some unrest reduction in Spain. Just keep the inspector here busy.
We will turn down the heat.
Oh, you only have one open star. That's what's going on there. I'm like, why did that one light up when I changed? Because it's one unavailable star. You're more persuasion person, so we'll actually buff your persuasion rather than admin right now. Although it is tempting to do admin. So I can have all the orcs. $15 we'll have control of Switzerland back again. We'll probably start spoiling Switzerland when that happens.
We've moved the needle. Things are cooling off.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
We've moved the needle.
Xenology lab, we'll want that at some point. It's not a rush. I think we're going to go admin here. We are after the reroll, so we just had the refresh here. Notably, that brings in L-Core missiles and space, which is more boost and more mission control. So that could help us make our timings in space. Basically put on anyone who's got 2 open slots. Probably not the espionage guy. Probably put it on you. Yeah, we do want that. Let's grab that right now. Oh, and there's the Sweden version of that one. We're not eligible. I think we're not eligible because we don't have anyone from Sweden. Not because Humanity First specifically is FU on that one. Yeah, that's just increased our boost by basically 50%, or we're doubling our boost again. That is effective. Eventually, we want to move beyond those orgs because those orgs do take a bunch of stars.
The people will come to our side.
Okay, I think that's good enough.
While anticipating.
Do one more control in Spain, and we're still public campaigning
Public
in
sentiment is increasingly
France.
with us.
Although
Public opinion is moving in
past
our
50%
direction.
now. Sweden leaves the Federation, that's fine. Denmark leaves the
Of
Federation,
course,
that's
there was
fine.
an accident. Frankly, I'm surprised it took this long. Just get the recovery crew in there to salvage the gear ASAP. Worry about the bodies later. The delays are costing us.
Okay. So, they've begun on outpost tabs, so we're going to want to be ready for space mining and refining when that's done. I didn't notice when that started, but should have paid attention. That's fine that that's doing, especially because we're feeling pretty good in boost. So if they do an early moon, if we get space mining going, early moon won't be a problem. Orbital shipbuilding is good. Maybe don't need it this early, but we're intentionally going to want to do space docks, right? We're going to want to be able to fight in space. So we kind of want the stuff from here. Again, we maybe don't need it now. Don't have enough to take control. No, I have enough to take control. Okay, let's see if we can take control there. If we control multiple slots, that's nice. Okay, well, that's as much as we can redirect towards that. We'll see if... Well, we'll give it a little while and see if that actually sticks. If it does, it does. We should be getting Switzerland back soon. We'll switch them back soon, right? Auto renew was unchecked. Expect the purge to come offline sooner, but it hasn't. That's fine. Oh, Kuwait hasn't come back yet. Oh, I guess the auto renew must have kicked in anyway. Okay. See if they come back.
Ready for orders.
In some sort of timely fashion. In the meantime, go more public
I will try
campaigning
to sway the
in
public.
France. I think the next cycle we're going to try to pick up another, well, purge the next point in France. Oh no, that was the time. The number I was getting confused with was the time to get executive control.
Order is
We hit
returning.
executive control already.
Our cause is unjustified to them.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
The people will come to our side.
Public sentiment
65% in
is
France.
increasingly
That's
with
a
us.
good sign for trying to purge our way in. Crack down and purge our way in. Okay, you continue the public campaign.
I will tell our story.
Where to?
We want you to crack
Where
down.
do you need
We got 18% base. If we're going for Paris, or if we're going for the executive, 77%. We will take a 77%
Cracking
roll. Our
Ready.
espionage guy will follow up on the executive. I think we're just going to do a base purge. I don't think we're going to invest influence here, partially because we're going to abandon the purge attempt if the crackdown fails.
Removing our enemies.
We did just also get a refresh on the orgs. Italy, we got more boost as an option. Sadly, no espionage or investigate on orgs we can pick up. You've only got 2 admin. Given the circumstances, I'm going to give you an espionage. It's not going to help with control in the short term, but it will help with actually succeeding on the purge, which we need to take stuff. From a money to ops and stars to command, that's not too bad. We'll go ahead and grab you. And you. Oh, maybe I didn't want to put the boost on you so I could get Jolt games. Well, I could put Jolt games on anyone in theory. Let's put it on you. This would actually give us another person who can consult alien asset. 7 command is not too bad for that. Confirm assignments. Let's time pass. Let's see if we can get more points in France. Ooh, I have lost control of a rival domestic. Let's see if we can. Oh, an orbital shipbuilding is just done. So let's just back off like that.
Mum's last years were a blur of doctors and treatments. By that point, every movement was painful. The one thing she loved was her aquatic therapy. Whenever I was home on leave, I'd take her to the pool for hours. Weightless, smiling, free. Commander Fiona Ayawade, during a psychological evaluation.
Okay, so that's orbital shipbuilding. They've replaced that with Deep System Skywatch, which definitely doesn't bother us. This would really bother us more if we were doing a Academy run. Doesn't really affect anything we're doing. Doesn't mean we're going to get updates on where the aliens are, because they're going to be out doing things. Let's say. We're going to be on the lookout to see what goes on with Outpost tabs, see if they try to follow that up with a mission to Mars, a mission to the Moon. Does look like we have control of a rival domestic politics if we give up trying to invest other spots. Let's go ahead and we're going to keep our current plan of trying to get into France. That'll probably give us more research points anyway.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Up to 70%. That's good to see.
Public opinion is
72%.
moving in our direction.
73%.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Crackdown has critically
We lost
failed.
the train.
We got 4% on the purge. We're not going to take a 4% purge. Abort mission, please.
Mission abort.
High thrust probes. Okay. That in mind, that is going to take priority over the reusable rockets. Although we don't have enough of a research bonus that I'm not going to feel like I need to avoid double stacking same type ones. So we'll end up running both of them probably in parallel as soon as the first one finishes.
There are two types of people in this world. Those who think only of home, and those who think only of leaving home. Director Khalid Al-Ashgar, Archival Online Dating Profile.
So initiative completed Outpost Tabs, and has replaced Outpost Tabs with Space Mining and Refining. I'm completely on board with that. That's what we wanted done before the moon or Mars, and sort of by definition, it's going before the moon or Mars. So, thumbs up, initiative, thumbs up. I appreciate your choice here. I can't safely take control there, so we just won't bother. We'll focus on having a rival domestic. And this doesn't... Well, actually, the we can see in here, there are a couple texts behind here which are percentiles, but most of them are the 10 percentile boosts. So we'd like to have a better chance at getting those, but... So I'll invest a little bit in the hopes we get better odds at unlocking those. Okay.
Reporting in.
Tee yourselves back up for the crackdown. I don't have as much to invest. No, I think we're going to hold off for a week. Or hold off for a cycle. Because I don't have the influence to invest as much as I want. I will have next week.
Where to?
Or next month. Or... Yes, I would have enough next month. I'd also have enough next week. We get 65 a month. I want to invest 64, so a month from now we'd have it because we get 65 in a month. And we're far enough along that we'd have it next week. The next time I'll be investing is actually in 2 weeks, so either way I'll have enough. We'll do more public campaigning in the EU in the meantime.
Making our case.
To, in theory, make
Standing
it
by.
easier.
Reporting in.
Ready for orders.
Augment, I think we're going to go for more admin on you. Okay. Firm assignments, let another week pass. Talent development, so there's +2 command on all of our advisors. We're going to go reusable rockets as the follow-up. Again, I'm not too worried about grabbing 2 energies. I believe the penalty for running 2 of the same type is you're dividing the bonus between the 2 of them. So, divide 0 by 2 is 0. It's basically not a penalty. Super heavy chemical rockets, we'll be wanting this at some point. Interplanetary warships, we'll be wanting this at some point. Outpost core, we'll be wanting this at some point. There's maybe an argument to do outpost core over reusable rockets. Yeah, I see that. I see that argument. Let's change that one to outpost core.
Violence is abating. Public opinion is moving in our direction.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
The people people will come to our side.
Okay, I think it's time to get on the swing and getting into France. I think we could basically take a swing every other week at a France control point.
Acknowledged.
Right down. Executive. We got 19 base. I can push it up to 78.
Going after their people.
Followed by
What's
a
the op?
purge on the point, starting with 3. And so what the crackdown is going to do is I believe it's going to remove the 10 from defend interests, and I believe it's going to apply another -5, so it's like a 15 swing. So it's like 3 times the modifier of doing that. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 3 times the modifier of doing that. So that'll actually be putting us in reasonable ranges
Terminating the opposition.
if the crackdown goes off. Which I suppose could be a pretty big if. And we did just have a refresh on the list here. Ooh, influence. Or not, espionage. Espionage person has 2 open slots. Two in a 2. That would work. We probably want to move that actually over. In the long run, we want to probably put that on the espionage person. But I think we put it there for the moment because we want the... We're more worried about the crackdowns right now than the purges, although it helps with the purge as well. So you're a person trying to investigate on, yeah. Trying to check if I got espionage or investigate elsewhere, and I don't. So yeah, we know right now, slot for slot, you're the best for investigate. Eventually, we're going to want the espionage on someone else. Then we might want to move this off and move, like, say, other investigates on. Like, if we had 2 of these, we'd put them over the mogul, so we could put the espionage someplace else. But you go there. You actually have these investigates. It wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to put the investigate on you in the meantime. It'll also be a good reminder that we need to get the off with you. And then you've got space. No, you don't have space. Does anyone have space? You have space. More boost. We're up to 8.8 boost per month. Interplanetary chemical rockets. We will be wanting that.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Here comes the public campaign rolls. 1 success.
We have hurt them very hard.
Our crackdown was successful. It was also earlier than I was expecting, but
The people
fine.
will come to our side.
70%. Could pick up Killer Instinct. We'll want that eventually.
Public sentiment is
73%.
increasingly with us.
Alien base found on Terra. Reading Homose. Nabaka. Okay.
How could one so young, coddled as you are by the modern world, begin to understand what war is? I did what had to be done. Closing your eyes and wishing the monster away only makes you an easier meal. Colonel Hans Castillo, during a war crimes trial.
Closing your eyes and wishing the monster away only makes you an easier meal. So Academy here has successfully researched Deep System Skywatch. They're about to have a bad event as a side effect to that. And then nuclear fission in space is what they chose to replace it with. I suppose we want that done at some point, but I'm not going to spend time investing in it. It's not like space mining refining where it's going to help us, investing it's going to help us get the discovery slot behind it. Our research and development teams report they're now able to undertake the Alien Origin Project. Okay. Federation ends, Greece is leaving the EU. Federation ends, Germany is leaving the EU. Belgium, Luxembourg is leaving the EU. New alien vessel arrives in China with a crash.
We're in control here.
Purge successful. We have control of the executive in France. Giving us control of France's one and only army. Also relationship control. So we can go ahead and say, hey, France should be allied with Singapore, Switzerland, and Kuwait. I did eat a bunch of our influence, so it's going to be 2 more weeks before, or 2 more counselor cycles before we can take another point in France. Which is fine. We're going to continue public campaigning, I think.
We must persuade the people.
You're going to go check on the
Standing by
alien.
for orders. At it there now.
I think this is a good place to put a part break in. So we're getting closer to full control in France. We did finally get the point back in Switzerland, which we're now going to just go abandon again. And I suppose it probably means we've got the point back in Kuwait. Yes. Again, if we take more points in France, we'll probably abandon Kuwait again. But yeah, we got 2 points in France, so we're on our way to controlling the seat of the EU, where again, we're probably going to prioritize getting mission control in the EU while we use Singapore for our boost, and the Middle East for our money, although we're reaching the point where we're maybe not as desperate for money, which is why we may be abandoning our way out of the Middle East. Global tech-wise, we sit on the precipice of having the Moon or Mars researched. The AI has yet to choose them, and we don't really want to force them. I would really like to pick up, if I could get it, solid core fission for nuclear freighters before Mars fires off. Nuclear freighters plus high thrust probes is really nice for Mars. And then also we want some of the arrival techs, which is what we're working on. Working on arrival domestic politics for the research, and then economics would be for orgs. More orgs would not be too bad. Otherwise, I think this is off to a good start. We're going to try an EU sort of Singapore and EU start here. See how that works. We do have enough investment in arrival domestic politics. We don't expect that to be taken from us. There's maybe an argument then to do something like that. Yeah, let's try something like that. But that will sort of play out in the next part. If you're watching on YouTube, that will be the part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, we're about halfway through the stream. We are going to record another 3 parts. This will be a longer than normal stream. Sort of making it for Victoria 3 being a 3-parter. This is going to be the tea break that we're coming upon. So I will be back as soon as a new cup of tea is made. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.